Present situation and crises in Brazil-Russia relations. Image. Brazil and Russia traditionally maintain friendly and cooperative relations, mainly through economic cooperation and their partnership in the BRICS. However, in recent years, some political, economic, and geopolitical tensions have appeared in their relationship. These are not full-scale conflicts, but sensitive issues creating diplomatic challenges. Below are the main present challenges. 1. Ukraine war and diplomatic pressure. The biggest challenge affecting Brazil-Russia relations is the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Key issues. Western countries, especially the United States and European Union, imposed heavy sanctions on Russia. Brazil has tried to maintain a neutral diplomatic position, calling for peace negotiations instead of directly condemning Russia. This has created pressure on Brazil from Western countries and complicated Brazil's diplomatic balancing. 2. Fertilizer dependency and agricultural risk. Brazil is one of the world's largest agricultural producers, but it relies heavily on imported fertilizers. Russia is one of Brazil's main fertilizer suppliers. Problems include sanctions on Russia disrupted fertilizer trade. Brazilian farmers feared fertilizer shortages that could reduce crop production. Brazil had to search for alternative suppliers while maintaining cooperation with Russia. This situation created economic vulnerability for Brazil's agriculture sector. 3. Financial and sanctions complications. International sanctions against Russia created difficulties for financial transactions. Challenges include payment systems between Brazilian and Russian companies became more complicated. Restrictions on global banking systems affected trade settlements. Businesses sometimes faced difficulties using international financial networks. This made bilateral trade more complicated and costly. 4. Geopolitical balancing between West and BRICS. Brazil must carefully balance its relations with Western powers and Russia. Brazil is close to Western economies but also cooperates with Russia in BRICS, Global South diplomatic initiatives, energy and trade discussions. Sometimes this balancing act creates strategic tension because supporting Russia too strongly could harm Brazil's relations with Western partners. 5. Differences in global security perspectives. Brazil and Russia sometimes have different views on international security. Examples: Russia supports a stronger role in global military and geopolitical power politics. Brazil prefers multilateral diplomacy and peaceful negotiation in global conflicts. These different strategic approaches occasionally create diplomatic disagreements. 6. Energy and economic cooperation limitations. Although both countries cooperate economically, their geographic distance and trade structure limit deeper economic integration. Challenges include limited transportation and logistics connections, trade volumes smaller compared with Brazil-China or Brazil-US trade, difficulty expanding industrial cooperation. Thus, the relationship remains important but not deeply integrated economically. Summary. The main present challenges in Brazil-Russia relations include 1. Diplomatic pressure related to the Ukraine war. 2. Brazil's dependence on Russian fertilizers. 3. Financial and trade complications due to sanctions. 4. Brazil's geopolitical balancing between the West and BRICS partners. 5. Differences in global security perspectives. 6. Structural limits in economic cooperation. Despite these challenges, Brazil and Russia still maintain generally cooperative relations, especially within international forums such as BRICS.